Of course, I'm totally present. Here I am. Hello. Welcome. I'm simply shifting my focus. That's all. Shift your focus. As I said, attention is a sort of currency. That's why you pay it. Pay attention. And I will. But I'll pay attention to what I want to. Everything is fighting, manipulating for your attention. The greatest currency that you have. And with your attention, anything is possible. If you could only focus your attention long enough on what it is you want, even if that's peace, then you could achieve that. But in today's world, it's becoming more and more difficult. You might open up your email looking for something, intending to go straight to an old email, and you're quickly distracted by new ones. Pretty soon you forget why you even opened your email. And that's like the dream dreaming you. And the dream is dreaming us to some extent. But we also have free will. We can also become lucid in the dream, both this one and the sleeping one. So I thank you for being here this week. I love you all. God bless and welcome. So my attention, truth is it's been at least 24 hours. Then I tried this morning, and now I'm having a third go. We've looked at this island in between North America and China in the past. This large island that was full of cities and is now missing. Maybe it's to the northwest of Hawaii. Maybe one of these little islands is Hawaii. We also discussed in a past video how they just discovered like 10,000 islands off the coast of Japan they never knew about. And everything being pretty good on this old map. One of my favorite from the 1500s. 1500, before anyone did anything. They made this map from above. But anyway, we're not going to talk about the North Pole, nor are we going to talk about this island. I just wanted to mention it. Japon Island. Japon? I'm not sure how to say it. Today, what I want to focus on. Oh, today. So, while doing these past videos, and we can see the Great Wall here. Sorry, kind of penciled in. Looks like an afterthought, strangely. But not my point either. This wall only points to a reference of China. China. What was China called? We do see China written here. Castles everywhere. And what amazed me most, maybe on this whole map, at least recently, was this super city here. Super castle city. The biggest city in the realm, according to this map. There may be others. This thing is just nuts. Someone really went out of their way to stress this city with 3 massive bridges. 3 bridges. And then we see all these islands in the port. And what is this? Right on the edge of China. In fact, in my last video, I will have discussed North Korea up here. North K. All these pins. I kind of focused on this area. Eventually did go further south. And we even looked at the capital city of Pyongyang. Here it is. Let's move this over. So we're not far, actually. Really exciting. Here, I believe, is present-day North Korea. This little nub here. Let me show you again. So you see this little nub? And here, I believe, is that little nub. Wish I could put these next to each other. But yeah, essentially here, North Korea, and here's the inlet in China. So now let's go into the inlet in China with 3 bridges. Let's see if we can find these 3 bridges. Even if the city is destroyed, we should be able to see the 3 bridges. So here again, we must understand why I'm looking in this little inlet. Pay note of this little inlet. It's really the only matching inlet on this old 1500s map. Let me zoom out. So you see the coast. It could be this one, which also has a couple castles, a really big one in here. And of course, these would be excellent ports in the old world. But I think we're dealing with this one up here. And I think this will be Korea. Let's go back to this map, and you can see the shape again. I really do believe this is it. Again, we know that it was China. We saw that it was China on this map. So we know we're dealing with a northeastern Chinese city. We have the wall here, and again, it says China here. So what is this little inlet? It says it's the Yellow Sea. So let us go into the inlet, and we basically have Beijing right here. Big city, and here we are. So essentially we had a great island out here and 3 bridges going out to it. And what do we see? We see nothing. We see complete fudging of this water. I mean, just put a big X here and say no viewing. That's basically what this is. A complete slap in the face, completely hiding something. And yet we see a lot. They couldn't get rid of everything. They weren't expecting people to be looking at maps from the 1500s. And they have left us, I believe, small traces of artificial land fading out into the sea. Here we go. Just a mess. Again, just give us an X. Just give us a big FU. And that is what this is. This, I believe, will have been one of the avenues to this castle island in the Yellow Sea. Here's one. Fading into nothing. Denied. And yet we see like a train. Just little glimpses. Again, they couldn't get rid of all of it. Fading into nothing. Either a train or a road, or it looks like both. One alongside the other. It's better over here, and it gets better as you get closer to the land. Here we go. Pure ruins of past greatness. And this is nothing. This is just one of the bridges or roads or artificial land masses. Really, if we look at this map, it doesn't just look like a bridge, although we see supports under it, like someone was trying to show that these were bridges, but also just the land. It's like these were much more than just bridges. They were artificial roads leading to this super city. Here we see more, and all the same, just disappearing. Here we go, revealing a little bit more. 1 square. Give them a square. But sir, a square? That's it. Almost reminding me of the North Pole. And this is just China. So again, on the old map, we had it situated in the middle of this gulf. It may have been right here. Bunch of islands with castles, if you'll remember. Castle Island surrounding it, and no wonder we just get a big blotch placed over this Yellow Sea. Of course, no one's gonna contest in China, and it's no different in North America. We have recently seen the blotching of the West Coast and the ocean to the west of California recently completely blotched out, and who knows, maybe a few years ago we could still see this here. And again, today, the big city, I mean, this is a pretty big city too. And of course it will be. It will have been the next closest city to this super island. This thing is massive and pretty unbelievable. I mean, you may ask, what is left from that city here? It looks like Beijing might be one of these 3 castle cities. But yeah, what's left? Here we go. Artificial land. I mean, look at this. Imagine building this. Imagine shaping this land. I mean, we're not taught about the shaping of land. It's not even part of history. Oh, they shaped the land. The very beginning. It would have had to have been at the beginning. There's no stories. And yet I believe this is not done by us, but has been done by the old world, who have now been displaced. So what does a castle city look like? What do the ruins of a castle city look like? Like this. Like everything we have today. Like everything that people aren't looking at today. Their coastlines and their very own countries. This is monumental. This is just one little piece. It's everywhere. I mean, this is just what we can see. If they're gonna blotch out this mega city out here, well, then we have to look at what's around it and what we can see. And this is what we get. We have to look at whatever we can. And especially these southern shores of the Yellow Sea. These southern shores will absolutely be important. It almost seems wasteful. Like, I don't know if they would have not utilized this city the way that we utilize all cities, the way that we repurpose all cities today. It's just too good to not be repurposing. So my second theory is this. Let's pause. Okay, my second theory is that this is still here, and that it may be part of the mainland. So here I would have been looking up here, and no doubt they have hidden these castle island cities, but perhaps this city is now part of the mainland. Perhaps the mud flood or the last cataclysm filled this in, and it's now part of the mainland. We can see the river leading inland. Let's check out the river. The city pretty much is to the east of the river's outlet. So let's have a look. Here's the river. The Duliujan River. Okay, looks like it splits here. God, really a mess. Really a bunch of added garbage. So the river splits in two directions around this mass here that they've completely scraped. Look at this. Unbelievable. Just a straight line right here, just to cover up. Here we go. This is probably important. I think we're getting close if we have this mess of clouds put in our way. Let's go back in time. So here we go. This is what they were clouding over. Just scraped, not even utilized for anything. Not a car, not a building. I could see why they put clouds over it. And it continues, this river, this artificial river, just crazy. And what a mess. What an absolute mess along the river. Anyway, here it goes. And yeah, it should slam into this city and no city. No doubt one of the bridges would have been here by the river. I think another one here and another one here. And then it fades into BS. There we go. Not even a nice blue. Here's a little artificial island out here that disappears when you zoom out, just barely. And again, what do we have here? With the exception of South Korea, North Korea, China, absolute communism. Keep out. We are still working on cleaning things up here. Not to mention the cheap labor they get to facilitate in erasing all of this evidence. And then, of course, they have the help of the makers of this map. So what do you think? I look forward to really exploring this more. Totally subdivided and developed and now turned into junk. This is the coastline. Look at this. Unbelievable. No human did this. Shaping land like it's Tinker Toys. Here we have this awesome Atlantean little layout. There we go. Lay out the park like this. Why don't we? This should be prime real estate. And it's just a mess. Just nothing. A wasteland. Even over here. I'm sure we could just explore this coastline and discover a lot. But I think I'll take a pause and we'll look at something else. Okay, part 2. I can't believe part 2. Shortly after part 1, I had a group chat meeting with my Patreons. Thank you, Patreons. And twice a week we meet and talk for like 2 or 3 hours, sometimes longer, about everything. Everything that could possibly be talked about. Well, anyway, I never do that. I never make half a video and then have a meeting. But that's what happened today. In that meeting, I decided to share my first half of the video. I asked them if it was okay. Essentially, it was a total spoiler, like they know what my next video is about, and I shared with them my theory about this awesome city, this one, awesome city in China, now seemingly not there, seemingly should be here. See the river, we have a name, Quinzai. Is that Quinzai? Is that a you? That's what we have. So anyway, as I was telling them, a new Patreon just searching away in real time and shared in the chat what she was discovering. And this is what she found. Here's what interests us. Here we go. Here's the bay, right? The bay, river, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5th up here, spilling into it. And here we have Quinzai. What is this site? Quinzai.com. We'll look at that in a minute. But here's what interests us. Got a really grainy bastard of a photo. Down here it says 1640. But again, this map, Urbano Monte from like 1587 or something, 1500s, has this city here in the 1500s. And here she is. Forgive me, the graininess. We'll go to Quinzai.com and see if we can grab the original. And why is there a website called Quinzai.com? Thank God. Anyway, rivers pouring into this bay. Star City. Zuntian, Quinzay. Is this it? I mean, it sure fits the bill. Castle City, star forted out, bridges everywhere. Really having a Roman European feel. I mean, cathedrals and domes and bridges. Again, the star fortiness. Who did we even attribute the star fort to? Of course, history tells us the French builders of Bastion Fort. But what about bastion cities? No talk. And what if they were in China? Almost looks like in this picture, a lot of the bridges have been perhaps altered. Again, this date on this art piece here says 1640 by Matthew Marian. 1640, but we see it on Urbano's map. Interesting name. We shall call him Urbano. Sorry. Quinzay, Star City. Very few depictions served up. I mean, more research will have to be done. Let's go to the website and see. Page not found. Too weird. Why? So they just needed a generic photo so they could sell this website name, quinzay.com, and somehow, like an AI or something, might have grabbed that photo. How interesting. Has nothing to do with anything, but what an absolute blessing. Let me grab it. Let me grab what I can. No wonder it's poor resolution. Here's another one though. Let's look at the second one. This one's good resolution. Good resolution, but kind of crusty, but still awesome. So here, actually, I recognize it. Immediately recognize that it's the same vantage point. We can see these towers. Tower. This is like the port is like pretty serious right here. Somebody's either letting you through or not letting you through at this point. And we actually don't see that. It's like they bombed the smithereens out of this whole port area in recent times. If we're going by this old art piece, we can see castles everywhere. Castles here, castles over here. I mean, it really is a castle city, just like the old Urbano map shows. Castled out to the T. And perhaps that pinch point was somewhere over here. And what do we see? Just advanced. Look at this. Even the cube buildings back here, kind of cubist. This looks like an arch, a little triumphal arch. Superdome in the center. Landscaping, fountains. Look at the fountain here. So we're pumping water. All kinds of homes, smaller ones, but this is serious. And who's heard of this? It's clearly gone. There's no city in the Bay of China today. And that's pretty much it. We could go to this website, try to understand why they have shared it. So it looks like just selling prints. There we go. And thank God, actually. Somebody got a hold of these and is putting them online only to sell them. To sell a print. The City of Quinzay. Engraving from this book by Frenchman. Ooh. So yeah, we can see it a little bit better, I think, here. But that's it. Let's ask the robot. Oh, sorry, The robot says Quinzay, known today as Hangzhou, was a renowned city in southeast China, visited by Marco Polo in the late 13th century, who described it as the finest and most splendid city in the world. Ding! So even the robot, very fair indeed. It served as the capital of the Southern Song dynasty and was celebrated for its 12,000 stone bridges, extensive canals, and a scenic west lake. So here we go. Hangzhou. So something has changed. They have renamed the city. But I mean, here we go again. Hangzhou or Quinzay. Quinzay is a corruption of the ancient Chinese, which means capital or big city. How interesting. So Quinzay means big city. Hangzhou, as the city is now called today, is one of the 8 historic capitals of China. It was founded 2,200 years ago. And then again, the story of Marco Polo, and hence where the AI grabbed this from. This website is cartahistorica.com. So here we go. Verifying and validating that we are dealing with ancient China here. Look at this. Castle cities. And even in ruins by the time this was portrayed. Look at this. Mud-flooded buildings. Totally depicting a mud flood here. But yet everything pristine, sticking out. Buried in mud, no doubt. The artist wanted us to see what he was seeing. Perhaps instructed to sketch what he saw. And I get it. And this is in ruins. Even the buildings. Very delicately, but undoubtedly acknowledging this. Quinzhé, now called Hangzhou. Forgive me, I don't know if that's what it was. Hangzhou. So now let us have a look at Hangzhou today. Hangzhou. Okay, we weren't far. It's taking us further south, and just as I suspected, not what we're seeing in that photo. I mean, no castle city. So, I don't know. Let me zoom out. I just don't think this is it. Pretty interesting features in this lake. Not the city we were looking at. Nothing that fits that bill. But some things worth investigating here, no doubt. Old bridge makers. I mean, this bridge is as old as a bridge could be. They've let it go back to nature. Let's have a click. And really beautiful. Look at the features on this old rundown bridge. Looks like a beautiful park in here. But again, not what we're looking for. Although very interesting. We are looking for a city in the water. And it would have been massive. Now it could have been totally destroyed. But since we're not really allowed to see what's in the water here. This is pretty interesting though, because it is also an inlet. This kind of would fit the bill in one way if it was out here. It would have to be out here and it would have to be huge. If we were comparing it to the Urbano Monte map, I think this other little inlet that I find myself in right now is this one down here. That's it. This one down here, and it has the river, just one river. And I think his map is pretty clear. Again, was he a madman? He did a pretty damn good job of doing the world and lands that we know nothing of, and the ways to get through them. Another topic. But for now, I will conclude this exploration. I thank you for joining me today. Let me know your thoughts. I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.